Hello, y'all. This is Julian Rico, and yes, you can hear me from this new microphone. So, yes, I have a new mic. Thank you. Let's get to these games. Start with these ranked games. Indiana, incredible undefeated season comes to an end after losing to Ohio State 38-15. Texas keeps it rolling as they beat Kentucky 31-14. Penn State survives against Minnesota 26-25. Notre Dame takes down Army in Yankee Stadium 49-14. The Sooners upset against Alabama, hand themselves their third loss of the season as they beat Alabama 24-3. Miami one win away to go to the ACC championship game as they beat Wake Forest 42-14. The Gators upset against Ole Miss in a huge game for the Gators, 17-24. Really an impressive win for DJ Lagway and Bailey Napers as they are going to a bowl game this year. Georgia has clinched the SEC championship game as they have beat UMass 21-59. Tennessee are alive in the playoff hopes as they beat UTP 56-0. Boise State are going to the Mountain West Championship game as they beat Wyoming 17-13. SMU, in their first season in the ACC, are going to the ACC Championship game for the first time in program history as they beat Virginia 33-7. Arizona State trying to keep that Cinderella run going as they beat BYU 23-28. It is haunted in Auburn, and Texas A&M falls short as the Aggies fall short to the Tigers of Auburn 41-43. Is Colorado's Big 12 championship hopes alive after losing to Kansas? We'll get to that in a minute, later on. Let's keep going. Clemson keeps their ACC championship hopes alive with a 51-14 win. Wofford loses to South Carolina 56-12. Iowa State survives against Utah 31-28. Missouri Kent keeps on rolling and they survive against Mississippi State 39-20. And finally, the Illinois Fighting Lioness with a game-winning touchdown beating Rutgers 38-31. Let's talk about these games. It's been chaos. It's been a chaos week for college football. I think the one I want to talk about is that Ohio State and Indiana. I picked Indiana winning this game, and it turned out that Ohio State thinks they can beat anyone. Well. Here comes the Michigan Wolverines next. Now, Ryan Day has lost 3 straight to Michigan. And if you lose this game, all pressure comes to Ryan Day. It's not going to be about, they beat you, Indiana. That's their biggest win of the season. Stop it. Beat Michigan to go up against your team that you could have won against Oregon. Now we'll get to the who has a chance to go to the conference championship game in a later moment. Florida, Oklahoma, Auburn, and of course, if I had to pick one more team, I have to put Arizona State. This season has been crazy. This is one of the craziest games, crazy week for them. I think Florida, Ole Miss. This was hard for Ole Miss. They're going to be out of the college football playoffs this year, and for Florida, they should be happy because they're going to a bowl game this year. That's a massive statement against Ole Miss. Let's go to the unranked games. UConn falls short to Syracuse 24-31. Boston College and their head coach Bill O'Brien gets a bowl eligible this year after beating UNC 21-41. Jacksonville State has clinched themselves to the Conference USA as they beat Sam Houston State 11-21. Western Kentucky falling short, well, losing huge to Liberty 21-38. App State fans throwing snowballs to James Madison players, and as App State wins it 20-34. The battles for the interim head coaches, both for Charlotte 49ers and the FAU Owls, have interim head coaches, but it belongs to Charlotte with a big win 39-27. The Wolverines have clinched themselves to a bowl game this year, beating Northwestern 50-6. Nebraska, stand up because you're back to the bowl game for the first time since 2016 as they beat Wisconsin 25-44. The big game between Stanford and Cal, both rivals in California, as California, the Golden Bears beating the Cardinal 21-24. Texas Tech kept a huge win against Oklahoma State, 56-48. And for the Cowboys, they haven't won a single conference game, so it's been one of the worst seasons Oklahoma State has had this year. West Virginia taking down UCF 31-21. East Carolina, the Pirates, our mateys, as they took down the Mean Green of North Texas 40-28. Washington State and Oregon State, the two teams who are playing each other in the Pac-12, and Oregon State are your new Pac-12 champions. Well, can't say Pac-12 champions because that's not a conference and it's just two teams. But Oregon State beats Washington State 38-41. On to LSU Vanderbilt. This was going to be my underdog of the week, but LSU keeps it rolling as they get a bounce back win against Vanderbilt 17-24. Duke falling a huge win against Virginia Tech 28-31. Kansas State beating the Bearcats 15-41. USC taking down UCLA 19-13. Air Force taking down Nevada 22-19. And Colorado State falls short and loses to Fresno State 22-28. And that leaves the door open for UNLV, which we'll get to them later on. Let's get to these conference championship games. So in the American Athletic Conference, we got Army versus Tulane. That was confirmed about 2 or 3 weeks ago. So that's official. ACC, SMU has clinched themselves in there. They're in, but they will be waiting for Miami or Clemson. Now, Miami, if they beat Syracuse, they're in the ACC championship game, and that will eliminate Clemson. However, if Miami loses to Syracuse, and that will mean Clemson will be in the ACC championship game, or unless if they lose to South Carolina, Miami will get themselves in the ACC championship game. We have 3 teams that can get in the Big Ten championship game. Oregon already in, but they will wait. They will wait for Ohio State, who they just need to beat Michigan, and they're in. Penn State has the best advantage to go to the Big Ten championship game than Indiana. Penn State needs Ohio State to lose to Michigan and get themselves in the Big Ten championship game. But if Penn State and Ohio State lose, Indiana still have that door open for that Big Ten championship spot. They get in and will play Oregon. The Big 12. Okay, the Big 12 has gone crazy. It is going to be either Iowa State, BYU, Arizona State, Colorado, who are still alive, but it's going to need a lot of help for this scenario. Baylor, Kansas State, Texas Tech, TCU, and West Virginia. Now, if Iowa State and Arizona State win, it will be Iowa State and Arizona State in the Big 12 championship game. However, if one of those teams lose, the door's still open for BYU to get in the Big 12 championship game. But if both of those two teams lose, and let's say Colorado and BYU win, both of them will play in the Big 12 championship game. So the Big 12 is wide open. It's still wide open for these teams right there. All right, Conference USA. I talk about it. Jacksonville State is in, and they will be waiting for Liberty, Sam Houston State, or Western Kentucky to face them in the conference championship game. The MAC has really a tight race here. Ohio, the Bobcats, the Bowling Green, Miami of Ohio, and Buffalo is in there, but I just don't see it. So whoever gets in the MAC conference championship game, good luck to those teams. The Mountain West, Boise State will play either Colorado State or UNLV. Now, UNLV will be playing, I'm assuming, Nevada. If they beat Nevada or Utah State, whoever they're playing, they have clinched themselves to the Big 12, to the MAC Mountain West Championship game with Boise State. But if they lose, Colorado State will get in and take on the Broncos. But let's say if both teams lose, then UNLV will automatically go to the Mountain West Championship game. To the SEC, Georgia's in, and they will be waiting for Texas or Texas A&M to go to Atlanta to take on the Georgia Bulldogs in the SEC Championship game. And then finally in the Sun Belt, we have a good battle right here. In the East, you got Marshall and Georgia Southern. And then in the West, you got Louisiana Raging Cajun and South Alabama. One of those two have to win their conference to go to the Sun Belt Championship game, and I will wish them the best of luck. And that is it for today, folks. And one more thing, you don't want to miss this game, as the LA Chargers and the Baltimore Ravens are playing right now. So tune in. That is going to be on ESPN and on ABC, so go ahead and check that out. Hit that like button, subscribe to my channel. We'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.